Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Backseat Soccer Show. My name is Jack Toohey. Joined with me, of course, is my lovely co-host, Kyle Robinson.
'Tis I.
We are here. We got a great episode talking about really the only thing that matters. Klopp's last game of the season, his last day at Anfield, last home game, is sending off and recounting all of our favorite Klopp things, Klopp-related moments.
Go on for quite a while.
We go on for a while. It's pretty long.
If you're not a Liverpool fan, I don't think...
This one's not for you.
Yeah.
This is the Kloppisode. So have fun with that.
Yeah.
But if you'll notice, almost today, here in spirit, Brandon Kalika. The framed Clippers jersey of Brandon Kalika. Not framed. The hanging Clippers jersey of Brandon Kalika. Still has not come.
He might receive it. He clipped us once again today because he didn't respond in the group chat.
Didn't even respond.
But he responded to me individually.
So
I know he was checking his phone. But it wasn't about the podcast. It was about something else.
So this is once
and
again.
he responded very quickly too.
I really hope he never shows up because this is a great decoration.
It's a great bit too. Like the longer that's here, the funnier it gets.
Yeah. Genuinely, if that's here like the start of next season, and beyond that.
And then I hope he just comes in and he sees it and he doesn't notice at first.
I think it might take him a while to clock it.
I think it would.
If you were to come in for an episode, I think he would not recognize that that's there for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's out again.
Tragically.
Is it even it's not even a tragedy at this point.
He wouldn't have had anything to contribute anyway.
No, he would have just talked about the title winning for City. He probably watched that, and that was like the only thing he watched all season. Although I know we watched like one game like 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So I know recently you went to Beach Bee Meadery.
I did go to Beach Bee Meadery.
How was that? It looked cool.
It wasn't that good, to be honest.
Really, it wasn't.
Look.
The drinks or the place?
The place was nice. I liked the place. It was cute, and the weather was great. But their cider is interesting.
They have some weird flavors.
Most of their flavors are weird. I wouldn't buy it if faced with other options.
But I liked a couple of them.
It's fun to try.
Like they have like a blueberry one that I liked, I think.
The blueberry's all right.
And that one that's like the weird...
They are a little drier, so I think...
Yeah, I like the dry ones. There's a weird one that they always have at Barbella, which is something like... it's like gray or Earl Grey, yeah.
You like that one?
No. Okay. I'm saying that one's weird.
Yeah, that one's weird.
They have a pomegranate one, which I liked. I don't actually know how many they have.
But the other thing they have there is mead.
Right, and I've never tried mead. I tried to make mead.
I tried it, and I hated it.
Didn't like it?
Do
you like wine?
No, that's why. Because it's a honey wine.
Yeah.
And it was, I could very much taste the honey. But I really tried. I tried 4 or 5 different flavors of mead. Couldn't do it.
Interesting.
Didn't like any of them.
I would like to try it. I've never tried it. Is it, thicker than regular wine?
No.
Huh. I would... Just because honey, that's why I would think that. But it dissolves, I'm sure, and ferments. It's just the sugar that's used, really.
Yeah. I guess I didn't really check if it was thicker. It wasn't noticeably thicker.
Right, well, that's all I'm thinking.
Right.
But I did see, I saw in the picture, they give you, a little tray with the different samplers. Yeah. How many types do they have? Do you know?
They had, 10, 12 different ciders.
More than I thought they had.
And then roughly the same amount of meads.
Huh.
But it's a fun place to go.
Yeah, I would like to check it out one day. Just because I always see the bottles around at different places with the cans.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Anything going on with you?
No, I didn't do anything all weekend.
Did you really not?
Did I do anything on the weekend? I went for a walk.
You're an old man.
My mom gave a thumbs up in the studio audience because she went on the walk too.
Good walk.
I don't think I did.
You know what I've been doing is I've been trying to learn an Australian accent.
Right.
For our lake house adventure. It's a hard accent. I didn't know when I committed to it that it was the hardest accent to learn, or one of the hardest accents to learn. Yeah.
You gonna do it for the audience?
The one phrase that I was getting, cause I'll hear a phrase and think about what that sounds in the accent. The phrase I was able to get is it's a perfect way to end your die.
Oh, that was good inflection on the end. You die. I don't think I got it, but what was like the one they kept doing? They would say like boik and moik or whatever.
Yeah, they do because my focus is on Steve Irwin, like
Right.
wildlife.
Wildlife, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing when I do accents, I have to think of somebody who does it.
Yeah.
Um,
And I have to what I also have to do when I do accents is I say a phrase that like gets me in to the accent.
You do have to like lock in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like hearing the pitch for like
When
in a key.
when I would do, because there was one time we did the radio show, in high school, where we did the whole morning news segment in Scandinavian accents.
Mhm.
And before I did it, I always had to go hinga dinga durgan
Like,
to get into it.
Like a Leif Erikson style, Leif Erikson Day SpongeBob clip. Yeah. That's funny.
Can you do any accents, Jack?
In general?
Yeah.
See, now I gotta think of like.
Because I get, like, before practicing this one, I can't do any accents.
I feel like I don't do a lot of accents, but I just do like voices. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I could do an Australian one with a little bit of thinking, but I don't know. Now I'm on the spot. I don't want to do it on the spot.
You can't do it. You put me on the spot.
Yeah, because I thought it was funny. It's not funny when I'm on the receiving
It's
end.
not funny when you have to do it. Do a voice then. What's your best voice?
My favorite
Impression or accent? You got to pick one.
The furniture made.
Nobody knows that. That's not like that's a bit that you do.
Yeah, I know. And the Gandalf. Just another brownie bite. Like Gandalf
It's
voice.
a bit. It's not. But that doesn't actually sound like Gandalf.
No, I
We just call it the Gandalf.
That's why I just do voices, like the voices of the characters for the bits that we got online.
I also like how your furniture mage voice is just you holding your nose.
It's so funny.
You don't even try to make it
No,
nasally without
it's part
the
of
nose.
it's part of like the
You do a good Snape boy, yeah.
Mr. Potter. I gotta think of like what's a line that he says like smoking weed in the bathroom once again, Mr. Potter. Like cutting the podcast once again, Mr. Kalika. Like, I love doing Snape. He's so funny.
See, that's good. That's good.
I love using Snape's voice for just like bullshit, like just being upset that somebody's doing something.
Yeah.
All right. We've bantered long enough. Let's cut into the big Klopp celebration episode.
Yeah, the sadness is kind of hitting me now, not gonna lie.
You're right, yeah.
All right, David, cut it.
David, cut the podcast, David. Transition us, David.
Not finishing the stats video once again.
Not editing the stats video once again, Mr. David. What's his last name? I'm not gonna dox him.
Katzenberg.
Mr. Katzenberg. It's over. It's all over.
Yeah, it doesn't feel over.
But it's so over.
What are we referring to? The season or
all of it. Everything, man. It's all over.
I'll have to elaborate. No?
No.
That's it.
Cut it there. David,
David.
We're done. Yeah, I don't know. It's over, man. The end of the season. The end of our season, most likely. And the end of the Klopp era.
Mm-hmm. Klopp era is done.
And what a send-off it was.
Yeah.
First off, I'm glad that we won. I was
Right,
a little worried.
yeah.
I honestly didn't think that we were going to.
I was a little worried.
Once what's his face got sent off.
Then I felt better.
Yeah.
I felt way better.
Yeah,
Obviously.
once we were up a man.
Down to 10, I was like, surely.
We don't mess this
We
one
don't
up at
mess this
home on
up.
his last game.
Yeah.
But damn.
It doesn't. I don't know about you. I don't feel it at all.
I feel like we will.
I think we'll feel it when we get to next season and he's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But right now, I don't.
Especially because
I also haven't watched any of like the last interviews or the tributes or anything
yeah, I haven't watched all those yet
apart
either.
from the ones that have been on Instagram, which aren't too bad.
I know there's a ton like on YouTube, like pre-made and whatever. Um, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna feel it until like Slot comes in and starts doing his like first interviews and stuff, and the season
Right.
starts, and it's like clear that he's not there.
Because I was having the same sort of reactions that Klopp was having. Because when everyone was asking how he was feeling, he kept saying, "I'm surprised that I'm like I feel fine. I'm happy. I'm having a good time."
He seemed more emotional in like some of the earlier games leading up to it, like the penultimate one, and
Mm-hmm.
before then, like the home game before the last one. It seemed like it was more emotional. I feel like he
Right.
had come to terms with it. But it's also hard to like he was been out there partying for
Right.
like all the clips of him like dancing and like
I love
clubbing.
he's having a great
It's
time.
so funny. So it's not over in that regards.
The best thing to come out of Klopp leaving is the Klopp Instagram.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Whoever talked him into doing that
It's great. I love it. It's
deserves a
so
raise.
wholesome.
It is really wholesome, really funny.
I hope it keeps up. If it keeps up, I honestly probably won't feel as bad about him leaving.
I feel like he'll probably, if he takes up another manager position, like in a year or two, I feel like he'll probably stop posting on it.
Yeah, I feel like
Or it'll be, I don't know, maybe he
he's
will.
done though.
You think so?
I think he's done. Everyone keeps saying that he'll go into manage the German national team, but maybe in 5 years, 10 years. But I really don't like. I don't see it. He seems done.
I, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy you could just step away from at all at that age. I think, honestly, what I always thought he would do is just go back to his hometown and coach there.
I mean, like he's younger, but Arson stopped and did other things in the game. Sir Alex Ferguson stopped.
Well, he's not done with the game. For
No,
sure.
I
Like
agree.
he's
I
gonna
think
do
he's not
other
done with
stuff
the game. I
involved
think
with
he'll
it.
do punditry. I think he could do. I mean, in Football Manager, he's always scouting until he's 90 years old. So
That's of course the complete uh, telltale sign of what's supposed to happen.
exactly.
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like he's done. If anything, I think he goes back for another spell at one of his previous clubs.
Yeah. I think I think the German national team is not out of the question.
It's not out of the question. I don't feel like he's gonna do it. That's all.
I think the only thing I can think of is that, or like I said before, I think he goes back like closer to his hometown in Germany and coaching like even just a
Hmm.
smaller side there, just to like, because it seems like he just wants to get out of like the burnout. To me seems like it's the burnout of like the limelight, you know, like he even said
He
himself he's
definitely
not an extroverted person.
he doesn't like the limelight.
The Premier League, like the press conferences, especially towards the end, the pressers, he was getting so he's always been kind of snappy with them, but
Mm-hmm.
progressively more aggressive. And then once he finally announced he was leaving, just like not even caring,
Right.
like would just like
Yeah.
say his mind, which is hilarious. I'm glad he did that. But I could see him going to like a smaller team, where he's no longer really like always in the spotlight.
But wherever he goes, he's gonna be in the spotlight. You know,
Yeah,
like, if he
but
starts
it's
managing a
different.
smaller team, that's if he goes and manages like a German third division team, every Dortmund fan, every Liverpool fan is now going to be following that team.
Like following, but not like showing up. You know,
Yeah,
it's gonna
that's
be
fair.
different, and especially
That's
if he waits like 5 years, like at most, yeah, maybe the German like Dortmund fans will actually go and like hound him at it. But
Yeah,
the amount of actual Liverpool fans, I feel like if he takes a 5 year break and then coaches a third tier side, like maybe a handful, like will take the trip to go and see a game every now and then.
I think what I should say is that it seems like everyone is saying that after a year or two, or immediately he's going to get back into coaching. I don't think it. I think it'll be more like a 5 year, 10 year break.
I don't know. I could see it being both because I could see him getting drawn back into it,
Hmm.
but I think realistically he'll probably take more time.
Right.
But I hope he does punditry.
Yeah, I'd love to see him do punditry.
I honestly, I almost feel like that's less likely because I feel like he hates the media side of it.
He's done it before though.
For when?
I think he did it for the 2006 World Cup when it was in Germany. So I could see him doing it for the Euros.
Possibly.
Like a little bit. Not a lot.
That would be
Just
fun.
a little bit.
I would hope to see. Well, he did say he was going to the Champions League final.
Yeah, he's going to the Champions League final. He's going to be going to a lot of games, so I'm excited to see the Kloppo Instagram posts of him at different games.
Dude, imagine if we go to World Cup games here in the U.S. and he's there at one of them.
It'd be crazy. He'd be in the box that we'd never get to, but...
I got connections.
You got connections? What connections do you have?
I got a gun.
You got a gun?
No.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna start?
That. No, cut that.
No,
We're not
cutting
Yeah,
that.
no,
We're
we're
not
gonna
cutting
cut
that.
that.
We
We're gonna
need
cut
to
that.
lock him up.
No, we're gonna cut that. Right?
What are you gonna do?
David, we're gonna cut that.
You're gonna go up to
David's already
security. You're gonna go up to security at
I don't even know what you're
Klopp's
talking
box
about.
seat with a gun.
It's not even gonna make sense what you're talking about because David's already cut it.
David's already cut it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
All
yes, off the record,
So-
I will. I'll say, let me in.
and then what do you think the reaction from Klopp will be?
You know that meme of the guy dressed in a suit opening the door and he's letting people in?
Yeah.
He's
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's what's gonna happen.
Jack's connections with a gun are gonna get him to meet Klopp at a
Yeah.
World Cup game.
Yeah. You sound surprised by this.
I sound surprised?
You sound like this is like incredulous even.
All right. Anyway, the Klopp era is over,
But let's think back at some iconic moments in the Klopp era.
and this is where we go to like the clip. No,
What clip?
the flashback clip of us playing for Liverpool under Klopp.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
David has it. David has it.
David's got all the footage. So,
Okay.
I'm gonna go in whatever particular order was I wrote down here, which I don't know if that was the planned order.
I don't know.
But the first thing we're starting off with is under Klopp, your favorite goal, your favorite Liverpool goal.
There are so many good goals under Klopp.
This was like I could have gone probably through and watched a
Yeah.
bunch of montage clip videos for
Mhm.
hours, and I felt like I decided I wasn't doing that. So
well, I decided to make it like the one I think of a Klopp goal, kind of. Although I stayed away because everyone will answer Origi.
yeah, that's what I did.
You answered that.
Yeah. I feel like I had to. I felt like somebody had to.
See, but that's why I feel like that's a moment more than a goal.
I could see that because I thought about putting it either as a goal or an assist even.
Right,
Because it could be both.
I didn't put that in any of mine just because I feel like it's a given. The one I chose for my favorite goal was Firmino's goal against City in 2017-18 season, the
Mhm.
4-3 game, where he just shoves Stones aside and hits that beautiful chip. I feel like it's such a Klopp goal of like the perseverance from Firmino to do that.
Right.
The audacity of him to do that. And also that was the game where you kind of felt it shifting from Liverpool being, underdogs to being more dominant.
Mhm.
Like that was the moment you go 4-1 up against City. Ended 4-3, but
But I
but-
mean, that's City though.
yeah, it was a statement in that season, I think.
I mean, Firmino alone could have a ton. I mean, his final goal I think is
Yep.
a huge one, more so of the moment, less so than the
Mhm.
goal itself. But
Yeah, he did a lot of good ones.
what's another good one that I would think of that I would consider? The Thiago like grass cutter one.
Ooh.
Like
the Thiago grass cutter one was really good.
that stands out to me. Like I remember watching that and thinking that was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I had another one in my head when I was thinking of which one to put before I settled on corner taken quickly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I had thought of a lot. The other one I thought of was Alisson de Sala.
I put that as my
Okay.
assist.
All right.
So
well,
we're jumping into the
I'm
assists.
taking all your I'm taking another one that I thought of. Now I'm completely blanking. Shit. I forget now.
That's crazy because you should know more than me.
No, I do know. I'm blanking on the ones I thought of. Oh, Fabinho's goal, 3-1. In our title-winning season against City, that most satisfying goal hitting the back of the net moment. The other one, a lot of them are against City because that sort of defined
Right.
that era. But the goal where the game we lost 2-1 in 18-19, where it was Trent to Robertson to Firmino, that was such a good Klopp goal. Both fullbacks
The
in.
pipeline.
Yeah, the pipeline. And there were a bunch of goals like that. And pretty much any goal where we won it off a press, I thought of too.
Yeah. Like that's
Yeah.
just what he did.
That's-
That was what
yeah.
he came in to do
Mhm.
and what he established.
So many good goals.
So I guess
Any Salah goal.
any solid goal. There's too many to pick from for that.
And the thing is, I didn't find myself picking Salah goals because it felt like those were less Klopp goals and more just
him.
Salah
Yeah.
goals, you know?
Yeah.
Like when he beat 5 players against Spurs,
Right.
put it like that's a Salah goal.
Yeah. It's less
Yeah.
so of a
Mhm.
he's like in his own class of he's like
Mhm.
a lot of the stuff he did was something he
Right.
did.
Oh, the other big one was Mane versus Bayern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I was gonna transition over to assist because you already stole it.
But I interrupted your transition.
Yeah.
Okay.
So favorite assist. I think it was the first Alisson to Mo. Because there were two, right?
I think there were a couple.
There were two that I remember.
I don't remember the second one.
The one I remember is the one where Alisson runs up and knee slides for that
Yes,
glorious
where he's in the
picture.
gold.
Yeah.
He's in the gold kit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was like the
Well,
iconic.
yeah, where Salah beats Daniel James. Yeah.
Yep. So that was I put that as
What
my
was the other
favorite
one?
assist. I could have sworn there was a second time. he
There
did that.
definitely was, but I was curious which
At
one
least
you were
one other
thinking
one.
of.
I thought he had one when he was in a black goalkeeper kit, which had to have been more recent.
He was also in a black goalkeeper kit for the Salah one, for the first one against
Oh, you
United.
said black and gold.
Yeah,
No, it
with
wasn't
the gold
black and gold
lettering.
though.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the black and white, similar to the one that he had this season,
Yeah.
but I don't remember.
He did it a bunch of times because Alisson's always looking for that
Yeah.
quick long ball.
There were at least 2 to 3 that I
Mhm.
could think of, but the one I always remember, like, I feel like if I think about any of them, it's like
Right.
the one that comes to my head is that one with the knee slide
Mhm.
celebration as
It's
he
that
runs
one.
up the pitch.
Because that was also like when winning that game is when we sort of knew that we'd go on to win the title.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like a defining moment
That
as
yeah,
well.
that was a big moment.
Huge win. Well-
Mine,
What was yours?
I couldn't decide between two.
Okay.
The first one was Robertson to Salah against City in that same game. Fabinho scored the goal
Mhm.
because it was the best ball I've ever seen played in my life. Like the curl he gets on it cuts out 3 City players and then bounces, like skips perfectly just into Salah's head.
Bro.
It was such a good assist.
The fullbacks on
It was
this
so
team,
good. And the
incredible.
other one that was tied with that one was Shaqiri's against West Ham, where Trent plays it out to Shaqiri. Shaqiri one-times it to Salah, who takes a beautiful touch and finishes
I don't even think I remember
on the
that one.
counter-attack.
I'd have to look that one up. That's interesting that we didn't put any Trent assists in there, because he's had plenty.
Oh, he's had so many.
But almost the same way as like Mo. His goals are like his own class. Trent assists
Yeah.
are in their own class.
But also, I feel like Trent gets a lot of assists and all of his balls are really good. But there's not one for me, besides corner taking quickly,
Right.
that stands out in my mind. I don't know. I think it's just that one Robertson assist has stuck in my mind for years. And then the West Ham goal because they repost that every time we play West Ham. So that's why I remember that one.
It's the one that used to haunt the West Ham fans.
Yeah, so because that's the one that comes to mind. And also I felt like including that one because Klopp's teams were so counterattacking. That goal was a very Klopp team goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some crazy assists and
So many good goals. I'm excited for when they put all of them together.
It's gonna be a long.
It's a long video.
A long
It's gonna
video.
be a long video.
How are they really gonna do one?
And
You
it-
think of every goal?
And it ends with Kwanzaa scoring the shittiest goal I've seen in my life.
But what's hilarious about Kwanzaa is he scored 3 Premier League goals before Joe Gomez has scored a single one.
2 Prem goals.
3
3
total.
Liverpool goals.
3
Yeah,
Liverpool
yeah.
goals.
It is really funny.
Dude, poor
Joe
Joe
Gomez has been there the entire Klopp reign. He's the only player to be there for the entirety of Klopp's tenure, and he did not score a goal.
Bro, in the mud. What if he scores like first game of slot?
That'd be incredible.
Just couldn't do it under Klopp. Couldn't cut it.
That would either be amazing or a sign that we're going to be terrible. Because whenever we were good, Gomez hasn't scored.
This is true. Well, he hasn't scored ever, so even when we were bad,
Yeah, well,
But-
we're never really that bad under Klopp.
no.
Can I just say, because
Second time you
because
cut me
I
off
was
the transition.
watching some goal montages, and I know we hate his personality because he's fake as hell, but Henderson was fucking class.
Yeah. No, I never doubted
my
his ability as a
God.
player.
The amount of goals I watched where he played like the hockey assist, the ball before the assist,
Mhm.
was insane. The incisive passing was absurd, and he did not get enough credit for that.
He was always ragged on so much by the fans for like
Mhm.
not doing enough or like passing sideways or something.
Right, but he was so good.
But he was so integral to like the midfield stability. I mean, even on the season, like
But
his
not
last
even that,
season-
because that's what we say. We say he was so integral to the midfield stability for the press, and that's what we say to counteract the sideways passing. But the sideways passing is just moot when you watch the goal montages and the amount of crazy creative passes he played.
Well, I guess because he's not playing, people would rag on him for not progressive passing enough, but the progressive passes he would pick out were good.
Right.
So, but yeah, I always liked having him in the team until he decided to leave for
Yeah.
oil money.
When he was
But-
a shithead.
But moving on.
Sorry, Hendo. Not
I saw
really.
somebody
You
really
should be
ragged
sorry.
him on somebody posted one of the players like tweets or something, I don't know, about Klopp leaving, and then OP, like the original poster for it, commented like still nothing from Henderson. And I was like, damn, he's really living rent free in your
Yeah, really.
like it's the day after, or it was probably the day of his last game, and it's like, and Henderson, and you're like watching for Henderson's tweet to like say like
Yeah.
really love Klopp. Like no
Yeah.
shit, he loves Klopp. Like he doesn't need to tweet it.
Yeah. Speaking of the tweets about Klopp leaving, I thought it was so interesting. This isn't a negative thing, but everyone's was about, the experiences and how much Klopp meant to them. And then you get to Salah's, and his was like, so happy for the trophies we won and the experiences.
I thought Salah's was a little
And then-
weird.
No, I mean, it's just, but it just shows his mindset because,
Yeah.
like, when
Yeah.
we're gonna play Real Madrid, he's like, I'm ready for revenge, this and that. And then he says that about Klopp. And then today I saw him post something. He posted something about Arne Slot, or like the conclusion of the season. And he was like, we didn't win enough trophies. Next season under the new manager, we're gonna win more trophies. And I thought it's very interesting.
He's
You got to admire it. You got to admire it.
He's on the grind.
He's on the grind.
literally
He's
on the
always
grind
grinding.
24/7.
He's not here to make friends. He's here to win.
Yeah. He's very much adopted like the grind set.
Yeah.
The hustler grind set. And I respect that for
I
him.
respect it a lot.
But moving on. I tried this transition twice, I think.
Let me think of something to interrupt you
Okay.
with again.
Yeah, go for it.
Because when we were talking about Henderson, I did think of another goal.
Right. So
Um,
moving on.
Do you
So
remember?
moving on.
Wait. Hold
okay.
on. Before
Yeah.
I go,
Mhm.
do you remember the goal against? Do you remember Henderson's goal against Everton,
No.
where he just banged it?
No, I don't.
All right. Okay.
So
Wait, but he had.
I knew you were.
I did actually want to mention this while we were talking about Henderson, because it was my favorite goal in this kit was against Southampton, where he played that amazing through ball to Salah, and Salah had that nice chip.
Mhm.
Do you remember that goal?
That one I think I do.
It's such a
remember.
good goal.
Good chip goal.
I can just think of random goals all night, so just go. Sorry.
That's favorite season.
Favorite season? Um,
I had trouble picking.
there were a lot of good seasons because I could either pick the one I picked was 18-19,
Okay.
where 97 points, but we won the Champions League.
Right.
Because that Champions League run was incredible.
Yeah.
And the entire season, like, sure, we missed out on the last day, but that entire season was so fun. It was such a fun season.
It was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was stuck between that and the following season, the one where we won. That was the following season, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it was so like, it felt like that weight being lifted off of like the team's shoulders, like the expectations, like you just missed out with 97 points. Like that's crazy. And then they just like kicked off that next season playing really well. Like
Right.
you could just feel it once you started, like once they were winning, that this was fine, like it was happening. And
Yeah,
like
I love that.
the mood around the team and like the last couple games and the celebrations for it. Like I'm glad that Klopp got like that parade moment and everything
Right.
too. And then I even almost thought about it, like I would not have even considered it up until this last day basically, but like this season, just because of like the ending of it. I don't know. Like because I thought it was gonna be a
Yeah.
lot sadder, but
It wasn't that sad. I mean, we only had one bad month of the season.
yeah, I thought it was gonna be a lot, like I thought it was gonna feel a lot, but not even just in terms of performance, but like because the performance was fine. We honestly
Right.
overachieved.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So the performance picked itself back up in a good time, I think. And just like I thought that the whole him leaving would be a lot more depressing, but it turned out to be a lot more like impactful. I don't it's like
Right.
emotional but not in a negative sense, you know? Like
It was interesting because everything else fell away because we got knocked out of all the other
right.
competitions.
Well, we did win
So then-
one trophy,
Well,
which was good.
but at the end of the season,
At the end of the season. No.
like mid-April, there was nothing else happening.
Yeah.
So then everyone's mind was solely focused on Klopp leaving. So I think that's why it made it more impactful. But I just want to say the one thing on us not underachieving this season, because we didn't. We overachieved. Nobody bottled this season. Nobody bottled, okay? I always see it. You and I know that those people are stupid. But bottling is when you're supposed to win something. You are the out-and-out favorites to win something, and you screw it up.
Mm-hmm. I would say, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see if I disagree in any sense. Not in terms of just the title. I do think Arsenal did blow it by losing to Villa. I think that was a game
But
they
it wasn't.
should've
It
won.
wasn't a bottle.
It wasn't a bottle. It wasn't a bottle. But
Because
I
Villa
think,
had been playing so well, and the season overall wasn't a bottle.
But I think Arsenal could have beaten them, and they should have beaten them. But it's hard to like. It's hard to It's like you can't really call that a bottle that they lost one game that
Out
they
of
should have
38.
won when City went on a 15-game win streak.
Right.
Basically.
Exactly.
I actually
And they
you know
got
what's crazy?
89 points.
I thought that for a second I could have sworn, like, aside from the Champions League, that City went invincible, but they lost one game to somebody way back in the beginning of the season. Because I was like, why isn't anybody talking about City going on an invincible run in the league? And they lost a single game, I think.
Didn't Arsenal beat them?
Might have been Arsenal.
Arsenal beat them early in the season, 1-0.
I think that was the only game they lost.
Really?
Unless there was a second one. I was only scrolling through the matches.
I think there was another one that was surprising when Rodri was gone.
It might be, because I think I was thinking it was a 2-1 scoreline.
I feel like Palace beat them.
Was it Palace?
I'm not sure though. But regardless, if you get over 85 points in a season, you did not bottle it.
Yeah.
As far as Arsenal are concerned,
Probably, yeah.
they did not bottle it. And Liverpool didn't bottle it because it was supposed to be a rebuild season. And
I would say Spurs bottled European spot.
No, Spurs didn't bottle anything.
I think.
At the beginning of the season, Spurs lost Kane the day before the season started and had a manager that absolutely nobody expected to do well this season. There might have been like 3 hipsters that were like, oh, Ange is going to be amazing this season. But everyone else expected nothing from Spurs. So I don't think they bottled anything.
trying to think what else I could argue.
Of teams bottling it
Yeah.
this season.
But I mean, to your point, there's no one who like
Liverpool did bottle Europa League.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
This feels like it's slowly getting lower and lower. Yeah, I mean, even if I'm trying to like look for ones to argue, it's like to your point, there isn't
Even
like,
yeah, you're looking for
I'm
it.
looking for it.
And people were saying that Liverpool were leading for so long in the season, but that entire time Liverpool were leading, City had 2 games in hand, and Arsenal were 3 points back.
I
So,
think
feel
I think a lot of people underestimated the 2 games in hand that City had for the majority of the season. Because
I feel like didn't I keep saying that?
I feel like we mentioned it a lot.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it's so deceptive. Especially, I think it was the combination of City having a poor first half of the season by their standards,
Mm-hmm.
and then being 2 games in hand for the rest of the season up until like the last like 2 weeks.
I mean, everyone knew when De Bruyne came back.
And he looked as good as he did.
And he came on against Newcastle. That was the title done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish he stayed dead.
Yeah. Anyway.
I guess.
That was our favorite Klopp season, right?
Yeah. But then also derailed with a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, that's fine.
So then I think you just put favorite moment. So favorite Klopp moment, I guess. Which I guess you would argue is where you would put the corner taken quickly.
That's not. I didn't. I
But
told you I didn't.
I know you didn't
that
pick
one.
it, but
Yeah.
that's where you would argue this.
That's
that
what.
should have
That's where
gone.
I would put
That's
that
where it should
one.
have gone.
Yeah. So what's yours?
Mine's gonna be funny. I don't think you're gonna have this.
Okay.
Klopp pulling his hamstring, celebrating in the ref's face this season against Spurs.
That was so funny.
That's my favorite Klopp moment.
That was incredible.
I think like that game when he was just getting so heated with the ref,
Right.
we win the winner in like 94th
And
minute.
he pulls his hamstring.
He runs over to point and yell in the ref's face, and when he turns back to run, he grabs his hamstring and limps away.
That was incredible.
And then in the press conference, he talks about, he's like, yeah, I heard it enough to be injured. I suppose that's what I get for being mean or whatever.
Right.
It's like,
yeah.
honestly, like that is like whenever I don't know, that's
Yeah.
just what I'm gonna remember when I think of him. Like that passion that he had, and like just how like he would lose it on the touchline.
Uh-huh.
Like that was just like the epitome of like I don't know how he acted on
Right.
on the touchline.
I had 2 based on like 2 definitions of what I was
Right.
going for with favorite moment. So the first favorite moment was just like in the Klopp era, not specifically Klopp.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Alisson's header against West Brom.
Okay,
Because I just
that's
lost my
Yeah,
mind.
that's a great
like
moment.
when that happened, I was screaming. Everyone thought I was in mortal danger. And then my favorite Klopp moment was
Why was that not in the running for goal then? I feel like that could easily be in the running for goal.
because it was the moment.
I guess,
like
but-
it was a great goal. It was a great header. Like obviously,
Yeah.
but it wasn't the goal itself. It was the context surrounding it.
Yeah.
It was the fact that it was a keeper, the fact that it was getting us into Champions League, the fact that it was right after Alisson's dad died, like all this, it was all that together. It wasn't just the goal. Like Firmino against City, that was just the goal.
Right.
And then my favorite Klopp moment was when Origi scored against Everton and he ran out with Alisson.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way he's running out on the field, I love it. He's like,
I love just
I
him
love it. And,
running.
then him and Alisson are like jumping together. That's such a great Klopp moment. And then he realizes right after that he absolutely should not have done that.
Yeah.
And he runs off. That's the best.
That's just the highlight of that moment, plus like the one that I picked just highlights like how much he just like loses himself once things are like happening, like in the motion of the game. Like he is, and he said it on his like leaving, like he's now a supporter, you know. He always was.
He always
like,
was.
When the professionality like left his mind in like the big moments, he reacted like any fan would.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is just like you don't get that with with a lot of
You
managers.
don't. He was just so connected to the team and to the fans. And that goes with another thing that was in contention for favorite moment, but I put in somewhere else.
Is it going to be quote?
No.
Oh. Okay, well, favorite quote.
My favorite quote.
50-50 chance I was going to transition that way.
We might have the same one.
Probably.
But it was the if we fail, then we fail in the most beautiful way.
Oh, no, I have a different one.
That's where I went with the Barcelona one because I love that quote.
I went with. I mean, he's got a lot of like good funny ones that I could have picked from.
He's got a lot of great funny ones.
I went with like whenever they cut back to it, just like, and they say it all the time, but like I'm the totally normal guy, I'm the normal one in response to
That's
Mourinho.
Great.
It's just like,
yeah,
it's like the irony of it all, because he said that because it was like true at the time, and it still is, because he is just a normal guy, I feel like, at the heart of it. But nobody expected when he did that in that interview, that he was like going to become everybody always says that he's the special one because he's the normal one. It's just like, it's such like it feels like such a campy, like pre-written, scripted.
It does.
Moment.
It really does. It feels like
when you look at it, like when you watch back, and then when you see them playing it again at his final leaving, like after all he's accomplished at the team. But I think that's what makes it stand out so much to me.
Yeah. For me, yeah, because that. For me, I picked that quote because after we lost 3-0 to Barcelona, I wasn't gonna watch the second leg. But then I saw after he said that, that's what made me turn on the game.
Right, like you gotta watch it. And what a game it was.
Yeah.
So that even feels like a scripted moment too. And then tying into that game, which I was reminded of this quote, and I was looking. Quotes was the only one I looked up actually before this to find more. And I probably missed this when it happened, but after that 4-0, when he was doing the post game interview, and he's talking to the guy, and he's like talking about how he just can't believe how the lads pulled together, and he checks his watch and he goes, "It's after 10. The kids are asleep. The lads' mentality is fucking unbelievable." Like, and he's like, "You can find me if you want. Like, if you can find me if you want to." Like something to that effect.
I love that because he could have just said it without fucking. He could have said it without the curse.
I also love that he checked his watch to like. He's like, "It's 10 after 10." I was like, just.
That's beautiful.
So, he's just such a funny guy. But so then I guess your thing you were thinking of would be for favorite game. Unless you had another category that I didn't have.
I want to hear your favorite game first.
I put down 2. I completely wrote the wrong thing there. I went with the 4-0 for Barcelona, I think.
Okay.
But I honestly, the other one that I put was the 7-0 against United. Just because I think that was the one where I was in Baltimore and we had gone to the Liverpool bar to watch it.
That was a great one.
Were you there for that one? Yeah, you were there for this one.
Yes, I was there for that.
I was going to say, I couldn't remember if you were the one that was there for that. Well, because
unbelievable.
Because I was at Baltimore for the other one where we beat them by a ton too, I think.
The 7-0?
No, the one wasn't there one we beat them 5 as well.
Probably
5, maybe it was 5-1.
Yeah, we beat them hard in the next game too.
I remember I was there for both the ones where we beat them hard.
Right. Okay.
And I couldn't remember if it was you at the 7-0 or the other one.
Me at the 4-0.
It was at one of them.
Yeah. The 4-0 at Old Trafford.
Yeah. It could have been that one. There were a bunch like back to back to back, I feel like.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
against United?
Against United.
We trounced them a bunch of times.
And it was a collection of those. But yeah, the 7-0, I don't know. I just felt like watching that in the bar.
The 4-0.
With everybody. Am I misremembering everything? Did I watch that one there too?
I don't know.
Well, you said you were at the 7-0.
I just said I was at the 4-0 against Old Trafford.
Then I said I was at the 7-0 at Baltimore, I thought. When
you
was
said you were at both.
Right, but that was the first one I said was the 7-0.
Oh, okay.
Which then you're saying you weren't there for.
No, I wasn't there. I was there for the 4-0.
Right. Okay, so I was right the whole time when I was surprised that you were there.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
making me just feel bad.
Whatever.
But I would have forgotten anyway. I knew you were at one of them.
I was at the 4-0.
Yeah. The 7-0, I just remember, was just like, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And for United. And this one I actually don't remember if it was at the one that you were at or not, but there was a United fan at one of the ones where we beat them, and he rang the bell.
One. Yeah.
He would ring the bell that they ring whenever Liverpool scored. Oh, because they had an offsides goal.
Yeah. They scored a goal and it was disallowed, and he rung the bell, and then immediately after we scored, and the bartender looked at him and
like rang the bell really hard. I don't know, just that whole moment.
Yeah. That was a great one.
But I think realistically it was the 4-0 though. I mean, as far as like the game.
Yeah, realistically, it was also the 4-0 for me because that's the game where my girlfriend realized how much I was into soccer because my reactions, the way she looked at me when I was she looked horrified because she had never seen me react that strongly to anything, because I was losing my mind, obviously.
Yeah.
But just the way that she was looking at me was gold.
Terrified.
But the one that
Deer in headlights.
The one that I picked was 5-4 against Norwich, because
that's an interesting pick.
I feel like not really, but because I was a small child, 14 or 15, I think I was 15. I had just started watching soccer 2-3 years ago, watching the Premier League 2-3 years ago. And when Rodgers was fired, I was someone who was like, why was Rodgers fired? Just 18 months ago, he almost got us the title. And then Klopp came in. I knew nothing about the Bundesliga. I had no idea who this guy was.
Right, it's a farmers league.
And I was also a child, so I wasn't watching like press conferences or post-match interviews or, when he was coming in. So I was just kind of skeptical. But then after that, like, that's the game that he like got me. And then I never looked back, obviously.
Yeah. How early on was that? Because I wouldn't have been watching at that point. Was that right at the start of his tenure?
It might be later than I'm thinking of, so I might have made that, like, it's the first Klopp game that I remember it being a Klopp game.
Like that, this was him. Like big things were happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that one.
Yeah.
Before my time.
Before your time.
Before my really uncultured, uneducated time. But I'm the host of a soccer podcast, so.
I was also very uncultured and uneducated.
Still
in that time.
are.
Still am. A little more educated.
A little
not
less
about
cultured.
soccer.
A little less cultured, though.
Yeah.
Basically a caveman.
Yeah. I love Klopp.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's like the cope is. I just wish he would go back to any team, just so I could still like see him.
I just hope,
him,
exactly. Like I hope I just see him in the public. Like I want to see him talking about things.
Yeah. So, hopefully he sticks around doing something within the sport. Surely he will. I hope they pull him onto some like. I hope he just goes to like. Like a lot of the players that do podcasts now, like former players do podcasts. I hope he just like goes around and does like crap like that. Like just shows up on like the Ben Foster podcast or something.
Oh my God, him on the Fozcast?
Yeah, on the Fozcast or like any other stuff like that. Or he's just like, he comes back to do like those, when they do like the videos of like the Liverpool players like playing FIFA against each other. He shows up as like a guest player and just
That'd
like plays
fun.
FIFA with them or some stupid stuff like that.
I'm sure he'll come back and like manage a Legends game.
Oh, for sure. He's definitely coming back to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I hope if they ever, because I feel like he's totally gonna sneak back in one day and like be in the cop or something.
I don't think he'd be able to pull that off.
I feel like not sneak in, but
I think he'll be in box seats and they'll show him.
I feel like he would one day do it.
I don't think.
I think that's like something that I feel like a lot of. I guess it'd be so difficult too, but I feel like a lot of managers and players would love to.
I think he would love to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd be able to.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, I think I do think.
Who'd they just show doing it? They showed was it Jamie Carragher?
Jamie Carragher went in Dortmund.
Yeah, that was hilarious because they just kept cutting.
And he's
he'd
wasted.
Be like multiple beers in, and they keep cutting.
So drunk.
And, just like...
and his drunk interview with Sancho afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah,
like that's what I would want to see him do. I'd love to see him do something.
Oh
like
yeah.
That. Yeah, that would be the goal.
Oh my God, Klopp on that CBS commentary team with Micah Richards, Thierry Henry, and Jamie Carragher. You add Klopp to that?
That would be so
That
funny.
would be peak.
They would not talk about anything relevant to the games. They just start like roasting each other nonstop.
That'd be crazy. That'd be so great.
They'll probably get him for some special guest stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like in a bunch of different outlets. Although he would never do Sky Sports.
Nope.
Because of his comments for that. But I don't know, any other Klopp stuff.
I mean,
We went through the categories.
we could just talk about Klopp all. I could talk about Klopp for hours.
I mean, we could, but we're on 41 minutes.
Yeah, so
with
let's
no intro.
stop it there.
We don't have to. Is there anything else that we want to?
Um,
I don't even want to talk about final thoughts on the title race, honestly.
well, my final thoughts were that nobody bottled it,
Yeah.
and that it was kind of expected for City to win.
My follow-up thoughts were I don't even care. It's like if you if you even look at like
Yeah.
with like the view count of like Klopp's goodbye compared to City lifting the trophy, it's like nobody watched the trophy lift.
The final thought on the title was I shared this with you. I saw a Reddit comment of people talking about Klopp and saying that, you know, he should have or could have won more trophies. And the one that stuck with me was someone saying, I don't care because my life wouldn't be any different if he had won
Or two
one,
more, yeah.
2, 3 more trophies. Because it as stupid and cheesy as it sounds, it was about the journey. And if you're a fan and you're only watching for trophies and the only enjoyment you get is from trophies, you should watch something else.
I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah.
Especially too because, and I agree with you. Like, I mean, I loved watching. I picked the moment of the title-winning season as like the season I picked, but like the thing that I love watching most, honestly, about like, and maybe this even sounds stupid to some people watch, but like when you just go on like the LFC TV YouTube or whatever, and they do just post those videos of, like the players like doing whatever, like the characters that Klopp created, the people that he brought in, and like the way that they interact with each other, it's just like I just love what they've built there. Like even the staff and everybody they work with, like everybody's so friendly with everybody.
Right.
They're just great characters to like be supportive of. I don't know. It's like they make it such an easy team to want to support.
And the qualifying statement I should make is that the trophies did make it the enjoyable experience that it was. The fact that he won the league. But I think just winning the league was enough.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that was the goal. That's the promise that he made.
Yeah.
He exceeded the expectations in the sense of that. I feel like when he came in, the promise he made was to win the league.
Right.
And he succeeded on that. And then in addition to that, built up this like culture and like infrastructure in this team that will carry them for success for a longer period beyond him, which I think exceeds what he could have promised at the time.
Yeah.
So, very cool. You had one last thing here. Biggest surprise of the season.
No, I think we should just end on that poignant.
Okay, but then can we cut in my biggest surprise?
Sure. What's
Thomas Frank might be the coach of Bayern.
That's
my biggest surprise.
No, the biggest surprise is Xavi announcing that he'd leave Barcelona, and then re-announcing that he's not leaving Barcelona, and then Laporta wanting to fire him.
The only reason I went with Thomas Frank one is because that's like tangentially related to the Premier League.
Yeah.
But
I had a different surprise.
What's your biggest surprise?
It was Wolves.
Yeah. That's like a serious
boring.
Boring. All right. I think that's going to do it for this episode, for this season. I mean, maybe we'll do
a
little
do
midsummer
Euros and Copa America stuff.
Yeah. Definitely Euros, probably. Definitely Euros, probably. Copa America, also, I guess I'll watch it. Sure. I've been watching a bit more MLS lately, but no MLS players are on the U.S. national team, right?
Nope.
So that won't help me. But yeah. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this season, if you had it all. It's been good. It's been a great season. Goodbye, Klopp. Welcome, Slot. Arne Slot.
Can we talk about how class that was?
Yeah.
All right,
What other manager has ever like introduced their replacement and come up with the song for them?
I thought when he first said that, I thought that he heard it like he meant he heard the Feyenoord fans singing it.
I thought
but no, he actually
made
came
it up
up
there.
with it.
I thought he had said he had heard during the game the Liverpool fans were singing it.
No, he said he heard the song a couple times today, and the song was some other song. It's like Live Love or something by
Okay.
some band that I hadn't heard of. But and then he just
And he
came
just
up
came
with
up
it.
with it. And now that's gonna be the song.
Yeah.
Like that's
It's
crazy.
incredible.
That's so crazy. Like perfectly sets up his replacement to like not make it like the ice that breaks is insane, I feel
It's
like.
incredible, yeah.
Also,
Because now you know the first day,
Yeah.
everyone's singing that.
and I also
we'll sing it
know
in preseason.
I know we like tried to end this episode just a second ago,
Yeah.
but I've already derailed it. But then also the way that he orchestrated that crowd, like Klopp would say something, and then they'd start doing a chant in unison, and he would let it play, and then he would just cut
And
it,
then he would
and then they
cut
would
it.
all stop.
Yeah.
Like, there wouldn't be any voices that were like being assholes, like
Right.
still shouting, like they. And then he would like say something, and then they'd go again, and then he'd stop them. Like, I like the one part where they would start to sing every time he'd say something, and then at one point he started to say something again, and he was like, they started singing, and he's like, wait, no, like wait,
Yeah.
they all shut up, like so funny.
The other great part was when he did the fist pumps to the cop,
Yes.
and then he was done. He turned around, he was gonna walk back, and then he heard the other stand starting to go, and then he was kind of like, oh, and then he did
all of
it,
them.
and then he did everyone.
So funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss the fist bumps.
Maybe Trent will do them.
I hope somebody does. I don't think they should do them right away. I feel like if there's like a big game, at post Klopp, and they like cement themselves like we're still gonna do this without him, then it's like you earn the right back to do it again.
It's
you
like
know?
it's like touching the Anfield
Yes.
sign again.
Yeah, it's like
it's like you can do the fist pumps when
you feel like
when
you
you do
got it.
something.
Like
Yeah.
So, but okay, now for real.
Now for
real. Thank you everybody for tuning in. This has been.
This is us trying to say goodbye to Klopp, by the
Yeah.
way. Like
This is-
it's not stopping.
This one's gonna be on a cassette tape, and it's gonna be mailed directly to Klopp.
David got it.
David got it. We're done.